But he also is a very good friend of mine. He beat cancer last year, and I have been so, you are going to leave her so inspired, because he didn't just beat cancer, he literally, like, killed it in the process, and, like, I just never even imagined anyone could overcome something like that in the manner that he did. And he also was just awarded Beachbody Live Trainer of the Year. So, without further ado, get ready, Mr. Michael Ullman.
Thanks, Coach.
I'm going to try to do this without the mic, so we're going to see how that goes.
What's up, guys?
Hey!
Alright, so I woke up, I have some notes. I'm not a note taker, per se, so I'm going to give you a little background about me. I speak in front of a lot of people because as an instructor at the academy, I get to talk in front of a lot of people, a lot of recruits, and so I'm comfortable talking in front of people, yet, I don't know, maybe because I get to yell at them, and they can't yell back. Maybe it makes it easier. So yeah, so it's harder to talk in front of you guys than it is like, you know, hundreds of guys with guns on. But anyway, I'm really excited to be down here and coming down to visit Jessica and Brian and really be part of your Super Saturday because, again, I've been in this now for 2 years and a lot's happened, and I certainly don't want this to be about me, but I'd like you to just take something away from my story, I guess, that maybe can be used for you. If I sound nasally, it's because I actually am. Nasally is not how I sound. I woke up this morning and I was a mess. So I don't know if it's a tooth thing or a cold or an allergies thing. So, Mike.
Since you're nasally.
All right, one nasally.
There we go. Very good.
All right. The guys are going to yell at me at the academy if they see me using a microphone.
Suck it up.
That's just the way it is. So who am I? That's the first thing. I just want to let you know who I am. First of all, I'm just so happy to be in front of all these awesome coaches. I mean, all of you. It's so cool to be up here. It really is. So who am I? All right. So my story is it's not unique, but maybe you can draw some things about your own journey and take from it. And hopefully, I can impart something to you. And it started really in 2009 for me when I did my first Beachbody program ever. So I was always into fitness. You know, I always enjoyed fitness. That was never a struggle for me. I just wasn't doing it right, and I learned that in 2009. I did my first program we talked about today, P90X. It's that 120-minute program.
Do it for the after story.
I did shoulders and arms. Some guy's like, hey, I'm doing this. I just got this. I just burned it illegally. Do you want to try it? So I did it, and I was just floored as to what happened because I was lifting weights and running. So I'm like, I got this. I know I'm fit. Now, mind you, I came from like a fitness background. I played soccer professionally. My background was fitness, really, if you will. And then I got the job, and it all went downhill. Midnights, working late, eating at fast food places and diners, schedule getting messed up, that takes a toll on you. But I still viewed myself as that person who was in shape and healthy and fit. And I realized that I wasn't that person anymore, despite what my brain was telling me. So anyway, I literally did that workout, and it changed me forever. I was so sore and humbled by what took place. And then, you know what happens like on that Friday, if you ever did P90X, it's legs and back. So for 3 days, this was me trying to get good. Just not getting up. And that was me. I did that. I'm like, oh my God, whatever I'm doing it wrong. And from that moment, from that shoulders and arms, I don't think I did another workout that was not a Beachbody program. I literally just did P90X for like 3 years, if not more in a row. I jotted everything down, like Tony said to do. Write it down. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're going. If you don't know where you've been. Right? So I did that. And I'm like, wow, I just keep getting stronger. I just keep getting better and better and better and better and better. I'm tracking it, right? It's going to go to our business thing later. And just kept going, and then I saw this insanity thing, so I'm like, let's just give that a try, you know. So I kind of ventured off a little bit. So here I'm going. That was the turning point for me. The next big turning point, the next big one was, you can understand who I am. Most law enforcement, I don't want to stereotype everybody, but we work in a very negative environment. You can see this last year for law enforcement was not been a good one, and it's always traditionally, it's a negative environment. I am, this is me. If you gave me this, there's about half in here, I would say this is a half empty. I'm a half empty guy.
What?
It's never half full. That's who I was.
All right.
Keyword.
I was a half empty guy. So fast forward a couple more years, right, doing P90 Extra and doing some other Beachbody programs, always Beachbody. There was this opportunity to try out for a Shaun T program. That's not me. Now, mind you, what am I doing right now? I'm negative at work. I have a beautiful wife, and we have 2 kids, and I'm just full of this negativity, and I needed a change. So someone goes, as a neighbor who's an insanity instructor, but not teaching insanity, they just happen to be an instructor. Hey, there's a workout audition for a Shaun T program. What's the first thing I said? I'm the Tony Horton guy. Really? Like, that's your response? The first thing I thought was, I'm Tony Horton guy. I think 2 days before, I literally sent like information in, that you had to send some stuff in to get a call time. And that was the big leap of faith, I think, for me. I went there. That's when I saw this person hanging out with all the other superstars. The defining moment for this whole thing was going through the audition process, and I remember being, it was the second day. Shaun was there that day. He ran you through a workout, which I died. I actually was sick that day too. I had strep throat. I'm usually never sick, and so now today, and then maybe it's a theme. And I died. I suffered so much. I'm like, I sucked, and I don't feel good just about everything. But we all got called in. I'm sure Jessica remembers this. We all got called in, and we're lined up against the wall. And there's 24 of us. And I remember being around all these people for a couple of days and just seeing their excitement. This is a distinct moment I remember in my life. Being up against that wall, just looking like this, down here, there's people at the table off to my left that were making decisions, and Shaun's over there just like, So I remember thinking to myself, I'm good. I'm good. If nothing happens, I'm good. I see how happy everyone is here about what they're doing. I'm a competitive person too, and that was a big moment for me to say, I don't care if I don't get this. I see a different way. I see that how much positivity can make a change in your life. And of course, the first person, and I didn't know this at the time, the first person Shaun calls is Scott. I didn't know Scott. I didn't know anything. I was literally living in the woods.
No, literally, like he's not
My
joking.
2 girls in the middle of nowhere, essentially. Not on Facebook. I probably talked to 5 people in my life. At the most. I wasn't engaged with life. But that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So don't let me say, oh, you're not on Facebook, you're not cool. I made fun of Facebook for years. Like, you guys are just idiots. Really? You gonna tell everyone you had a coffee today? It's like every day now for me. Stand by. All right, so, and Scott, and I'm just like, who's this Scott guy? He didn't work out with us. How the hell is he allowed to come up here? So I was like, oh, duh. Anyway, they called out the names. You know, obviously I got picked, and at that point it was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this anyway, so I was hoping you maybe wouldn't have called me, because I don't have a plan. I can't be here every day for 5 weeks, and I didn't have a plan. Anyway, it was a moment in time that the point of the story is, I think it was at that moment that I became a half full person, or started to become, than a half empty person. And I think this is the biggest thing. Now, some people, listen, my kids, I have an older daughter who walks downstairs, and this is her in the morning. Here's my other daughter. Hey guys! Hi mommy! I love you, daddy! What are we doing today? Honey, do you want me to make you breakfast? Breakfast. So it's just sometimes it's who you are, right? I was the older one, but you can change, and I think it affects everyone around you. So as a coach now, you have the ability to bring people and change literally who they are for the better, because change for the sake of change doesn't mean it's good. Change someone for the better because of the way you interact with them, the way you talk to people, the way you care. And I think that has been a big moment for me. So coaching, it was a natural progression then. So at this point now I'm a discount coach under a guy at work who's about as negative as you can be, who probably, just sees me as a $32 paycheck, right? Or then I became a discount coach. And I remember him saying, "You're not going to leave me when you do this whole Max 30 thing, are you?" Yes. So this is where I met Jessica. It's just the background story on that. And I was obviously instantly gravitated towards her because the person she is, right? The person she is just struck a chord with me. So, and I was ready. I think this is the next thing that's on my list here. I don't want to get off track, but I was ready. The timing was right. And I was ready for change. So, on that note, to being ready for change, as a coach, you need to be open and ready for business. And that, this is like my coaching tip for especially new coaches. You need to have your storefront open. So if I go on, so I had to go on Facebook, obviously. So when you go on your Facebook, when people ask you what you do for a living, do you have a response? So now it's not, and I'm not bashing what I do. It's not, necessarily. First, I'm a New Jersey State Trooper. There's other things, right? So you could have a day job and still be a coach and lead with that passion. So the timing has to be right. You need to be open for business. Do I know that you're in the business of helping people with health and fitness? Do you have to be an expert? No, of course you don't. But you have to be sharing your journey with other people, and you have to be getting vulnerable. And going back to Sean and why he's made such an impact on my life, despite being a Tony Horton guy, is that I remember him telling me, he's like, you're not going to be successful until you're ready to be uncomfortable and be vulnerable. And that was another oh man, troopers don't share their emotions with anybody. License, registration, insurance company. I was always a nicer person when I stopped you.
Yeah.
No, I was. So, getting comfortable with uncomfortable, it's just so important. But the timing has to be right. So you need to be open for business. You need to be willing and able to help people when they're ready, because they're not always going to be ready when you're ready, because you're reaching out to somebody. So make sure that's okay. Just on a coaching front, just make sure you are ready, and make sure you are sharing your journey and being a product of the product, which I'll talk about last before I go today. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about was why coaching was such a draw for me as well, was looking at my own family. My growing up, my dad had a great job in the city, New York City. He got laid off. He got laid off one year, and we were young, I was 11-ish, and then he opened his own landscaping business, which I ended up working for him for over 15 years. And I think in the back of my mind, I think maybe why I was drawn towards law enforcement, like a government job, is the safety, because I saw like him lose a lot, and I wanted that security of having control. Learning years later that you really don't have control, right? Unless you really take ownership in it, and with government work, and it's given me a lot. I don't have true control. I don't have all the control. And with coaching, you really do have all the control. It's just what you do with that. It's what you take and what you digest it, and you have to give it to other people. So that was another thing that brought me into coaching. I was ready to accept what's going to happen. So I can't read my writing. All right, and then on that was the vital process, and that I think that's really where I came from. I'm a product of being that vital process. I truly believe in the products. I truly believe in these workouts. They changed my life. And then finally, not being a shake guy for a long time, I finally accepted that there is a better way with nutrition as well. And I finally did trusted to try it enough. I literally, very similar to the way Jessica tells the story, is I had all the intentions of not continuing with Shakeology, because I didn't want to drink a meal, and I thought I was eating well enough. I mean, heck, I was having Fruit Loops for breakfast. Isn't that good?
True.
And there was just so much to learn. So it was my own stubbornness, but again, I wasn't ready. I think it goes back to that I was not ready for the next thing. So anyway, the next thing is why I'm hesitating, because I hate kind of talking about this, but I'm getting better at it, which is the struggle and why Beachbody is such an important part of my life right now. And it is because after filming Max 30, after getting involved with coaching, so just so you know the background, I left coaching for 6 months to be on this team. So I took the 6-month break because I knew, and I use this analogy, I got kind of bashed on it for a little bit. Pick your favorite team, or your favorite sports team, presuming that they're good. I wanted to be on the best team. I wanted to be on the team that had the chance of going every year to the World Series, to the Super Bowl. That's their dream. Or, not that they're a dream for all reason, but I wanted to be on Jessica's team. I wanted to be on a team that I could see myself in, right? Because you have to kind of see yourself in that team, and I saw that. All this led up to a couple of years ago when, after filming Max 30, I had pain started to develop in my arm, and it was I got this, I'm working out too hard, and I finally went to the doctor in March of 15. Stuff here. And he said, you're working out too hard, you're doing this, you have a stress fracture in your arm. And, okay, what do you need me to do? Just stop doing what you're doing, take it easy. I'll try. So I did my best. It didn't get better. It didn't get better. And it's your fault. And it's your fault. And finally, I couldn't take it anymore. Many doctors at this point, I'm just fast forwarding the story. Many doctors at this point, 6 months goes by, and I can't take the pain. I can't sleep. So I go to somebody else that I was recommended, and long story short, we did some testing, and then I get this. Hello? Hey, Michael, Dr. Frassinger. So you have cancer. And so here's what we're gonna do. so it's hard, you know. I was at work, I remember sitting at my desk, I kept thinking about my family. I got everything going right now, and it's like, really? You don't know that when I was 13, my brother at 16 had a very rare bone cancer, and I already went through this with him. I already saw how bad it is, and I was just afraid of going through it. And I didn't want to do it. No one does, right? You don't want to hear that from anybody. So of course I cried, sort of like I'm doing now, harder. And I had to make a decision in a couple days, like what I'm gonna do. I need to own this. What are you gonna do? You're gonna give up? You're gonna just, you know, fold it in, or are you gonna fight with everything? And I think a lot of people are gonna fight, right? You have something to fight for, and I certainly did. But that wasn't enough. I wanted to own this. I wanted to own it. I knew my chances. I knew the odds. Like, I saw this is a winnable game. I got this. So I went all in. I went all in on cancer, and I said, I'm going to do something else a little bit crazy. I'm going to share it with everybody so that they keep me accountable for what's about to happen. Whereas a lot of people, because I've talked to a lot of people with this and other things, with cancer, and they just want to go into a little corner, you know, and they want to put their thumb in their mouth and they just want to deal with it on their own terms. There's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to put it out there, because one of the analogies I use is, again, you walk into that sports stadium that we just talked about and have 10 people, right? You walk in, you're about to play the biggest game of your life, and then you walk in and 10 people. Go get them. Then walk into that stadium with 80,000 people screaming and yelling. If you've been in a stadium, you know the energy. It's like, whoa, the game's about to start. That's what I felt. By me putting myself out there, being vulnerable, those Sean words came echoing into my head really quickly. I'll go too long. Being vulnerable, wow, so empowering to have all this support. It made it so much easier. So we did that. So this girl did so much, because she just said, you know, you just take care of you, and I'll take care of the rest. So the support system was huge, not only from everybody in Facebook land and friends and family, but from this one. So just thank you publicly once again. So we locked and loaded, we got engaged, we got into the battle, we fought, and ultimately, so far, we're winning, which is the idea. And I'm so, so what does that do? So someone said, well, you give me your thoughts about the whole thing. And the way I would sum it up is this. My dream would be to be able to give everyone, and some of you might have, don't listen, my struggle is not like the end all be all struggle. It's just, I witnessed in the hospital people that are struggling. So for me, I always put it into perspective. You, lost my train of thought. Yes, thank you. That's why you're here, honey. That's why I bring you. And wait till you see her modified. Oh, it's amazing. Professional. If I could give each and every one of you what it's like to go through and survive like cancer, or I guess it's probably the same for people that survive a plane crash, or just the gratitude of life. Oh my God, you don't know living until you are close to dying. That's when you're alive. That's when you're like truly alive. So how do you give that? How do you give that? Well, I don't know the answer to this, so it's a rhetorical question. But how do you, I'm still working on it. How do you give that to other people? I think though, personally, what you do is you live that life. You live that life and show people. You show them how important life is, how precious it is, how fragile it is. And you can do that through coaching. So you can do that through coaching. That's why I love this job, because you can give that same feeling, that survivor feeling, to a lot of people, and you don't need to go through all that stuff. You don't. But you have to develop, who you are as a person. So, okay. So what did that kind of get me to do? I'm certainly a half full person now, and it showed me that I need to set big goals and grow into the person it takes to achieve those goals, to be a better person. So what I try to get across to my new coaches is that what you need to do is, what do I need? I just had a message from someone this morning who I've been dealing with for a long time. It has been a struggle for me because they won't get out of their own way. They literally won't get out of their own way. They don't see it because they don't believe in themselves. So the first thing is, again, it starts with you and it ends with you. It is all you. Your background doesn't have to determine your future at all. So again, I encourage you, if you are struggling, to look to yourself first. What can you do better? How can I become a better person and grow so that other people are then attracted to you? And I think the basics of that starts with being a product of the product. It really, really does. I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is people going, I want to do what you do. One quick anecdotal story here is, I still work out at the gym. I always do Beachbody programs. I'm just the idiot that puts the Bluetooth headset in and I'm watching on my phone all my workouts. There's Mike again, doing his thing. And of course, what are these guys doing? Set 1, set 2. And I'm hanging sideways, like on in a flag position going, you guys don't know what strength is. Like you think, yeah, it's a side story, but I get so frustrated with these guys. But, again, stubborn, I was the same way, so I understand. Beth, where was I? Thank you. On what? On what?
Just an anecdotal story that we're all excited about.
It happens. It happens.
Product of the product. Product of the product.
What was I going to tell you guys? I think we're going to move on. All right, lost my train of thought. It's part of my process. I'm still going through some chemo issues, and it just lasts, and sometimes you just lose your train of thought, but that's okay. All right, last 2 points, and then we're going to wrap it up. So it's we're all in the same boat. We're all starting from the same point, and you may look at people, you may look at me, you might look at Jessica or any other elite coaches or successful coaches that are here today, and just say, I can't do that. I'm not that person. I can't do what they're doing. When I went to the academy in '98, I remember it was week 5. I had a real hard time in week 5, so it's 24 weeks or so, and you live there for during the week. I remember saying to myself, I still use this today. If that person, wait a second, whoa, hold on, as I'm talking to myself. If they can do it, why can't I do it? So all those top 10 coaches that you saw up here, all those successful people, there's no reason why you can't do what other people do. It's again, it goes back to you. It starts with you. But don't undercut yourself. I think it was a team call that Jessica said, she said 90% of the people don't believe that they can be successful, that they're capable of success or greatness. What? I hate to say it, but I don't know how many people we have here, but if we took 90% of you and put you over there, and which side of the room are you going to go to? Like, I know everyone wants to be in the 10%, right? But it's the actions that put you in that 10%. Maybe the number's smaller, I don't know. But that's crazy. If you don't believe it in yourself, there's no, if I don't believe in my heart that I'm going to beat cancer, I don't know, am I? You have to believe it. You have to believe it, and this is going to go into my last point of the day. more than anything in your life. It has to be a belief. That means you have to believe in the products, all of them. If you don't, that's fine. It might not, you just truly might not believe in them. But if you do, there is a direct correlation between your success and your belief system. Okay? But if you don't believe that you can be successful or that you can have, fitness doesn't have a size, right? So it's not about having like abs or, being ripped or having, but if you can't see yourself growing into the person that you see in the mirror and then the one you want to be, you're never going to get there. You have to believe it. All right, the last thing. So we're on this stage, right? And this is my cliff. This is my big cliff, and the floor is not 12 to 14 inches below me, but it's 1,400 feet down, 14,000 feet down. You have to be willing to jump. I love this speech. This is certainly not mine, but it resonates with me. You have to be willing to jump and go all in and know that your parachute's not opening right away. That when you jump, there's going to be failure. And you're going to hit the rocks a little bit on the way down because you didn't jump far enough away. And you'll be scraping yourself on the way down. And you're still hoping and praying that your parachute's going to open. And then it opens. And you're like, that was close. And then it breaks. And you're plummeting to earth yet again. And you're in full panic mode now. Because you went all in. And you're like, no. But you keep fighting. You keep staying engaged. You keep being consistent. The most important word that I know is consistency with everything. Consistency is everything. Patience and consistency. And you're patient and you're consistent. And then finally, the second chute opens. And now you're soaring and you're going down. And of course there's a little turbulence. Here and there, it's always going to be. It's always going to be. But eventually you're going to land. But you have to be willing to trust that process and go all in and just jump. You've got to jump in this business. It's so important. I think that's it. I do apologize for the lack of clarity sometime in my head, but it's just something I'm dealing with. Anyway, thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you're ready for today. Yeah. We are going to max out today.
Woo-hoo. I'm ready.
Okay, you guys, come on. I mean, seriously, you can do better. And thank you so much. Oh, look at standing. People are standing for you, Michael. I mean, just amazing. And darn, do I wish I had a picture of me looking that cool. I just kept staring at that the whole time. Like he's literally flying. And both of his chutes opened on the way down. So just awesome. And I have to say, one of my favorite things that you just said, that I was like, man, that is such a concise and perfect way to say that. There is no perfect shape for fitness. There is no one set shape for fit. And to me, that's like the one thing that I go back to all the time. It isn't you can look around the room, every coach has a different shape. So every coach reaches a different person, every coach is at a different part of their journey. And I love that saying. One thing I also want to go back and take another quote from his speech, where he was talking about where you pick your favorite sports team, right? And you lock into that. When you find a team, like he started on a team and it wasn't his team, it didn't jive with where he wanted to go. His life changed. So what you need to do is realize, one, that Jacksonville is a giant umbrella, like this huge team of Beachbody coaches. Whether you're on this team or that team or whatever, the most important thing is that you find the team that jives for you, the best team for you. So you find the coaches that you identify with, you find the coaches that work for you, you find the team that is part of your mentality and will get you to where you want to go, and that's what you need to lock into. So you've got a huge resource of Jacksonville with all these teams that all come together, and then we come together on this weekend, and you can feel the energy that comes from all of these awesome teams and all of these people who are locked into doing something positive, that half full glass versus the half full and the half empty. And maybe you're in the middle. Maybe you're like, I mean, there's something in there. It's not the worst thing. It's not the best thing. We're getting there. So if you're there, perfect, because you're on your way to the half full, right? So we're gonna, what I want you to, do you want to go ahead and just,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so what you guys are getting ready to